Even the dogs are getting into it. All right.
Can I hold this for 5 seconds?
This is indeed a great and historic day for the city of San Diego. And first of all, let's acknowledge our San Diego Police Department, who's doing a really great job, as they always do. You know, this project took more than 10 years to do. We won't get into the background of it, but it certainly has turned out to be a major project that's met with success and support from our entire city, and especially our entire city council. We'll be introducing some of those members, but let's remember this, that Republicans and Democrats on our city council, and some of us old timers, some of us old queens could never imagine that Republicans and Democratic council members unanimously voted for this street. I think we have a Harvey Milk Street mascot right here. So what better way to begin this event with the outstanding talents of the award-winning San Diego Gay Men's Chorus and the San Diego Women's Chorus.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
San Diego Gay Men's Chorus and the Women's Chorus. And I'd like to acknowledge our interpreter, Carla. Let's give her a round of applause. She's always giving of her time and efforts for many of our
Mark, there is a
events.
huge crowd here. We are right in the middle of it. Let me get out of the way so you can take a
You know, in
look
the
at the
1950s, a young
Now, the
Jewish
attendants
man
include Stuart Milk,
from
who's
New
Harvey
York
Milk's nephew,
proudly
Todd
joined the
Gloria,
U.S.
city
Navy.
councilman who represents this
And like
area,
so many
and
hundreds
young city
of
council
thousands,
The San Diego
found
City
himself
Council
stationed in San
renamed
Diego.
Blaine Avenue
And
to
in
Harvey Milk Street.
1955,
They're actually going to unveil
was
that
honorably
sign after
discharged
now.
as
Same gay rights leader would have
Navy
been 82
Lieutenant
years old today.
Harvey
Now, while
Milk.
Milk's mainly associated with San Francisco,
Like-
where he was a county
Like
supervisor,
so many others, while in our beautiful city, he fell in love with this, the Golden State of Opportunity. He returned to California, and as you know, the rest is history. As he got elected to an office and became a true public servant, concerned not only about the civil rights of gays and
The effort
lesbians,
to rename the
but
street
the
was
struggles
covered
of
by
the farm
private
workers,
donations. San
the
Diego will
hardships
be
of
the first
seniors,
city in the nation
and the
to have a
elderly,
street named
the
after
plight of
Harvey Milk.
women,
Reporting
the
live from
struggles
Crenshaw, Mari
of
Taylor,
small
NBC 7
business
San Diego.
owners. I had the pleasure to meet and work with Harvey Milk during the 1970s as activists across the California joined together to fight Anita Bryant and John Briggs. Harvey Milk was indeed charismatic, charming, a great speaker, but what I loved about him the most was his sense of humor and his camp. Harvey Milk became a leader at a time when homosexual relationships were against the law, and a judge or even your parents could commit you to a state hospital only for being a homosexual who loved another homosexual. Many of our brothers and sisters were treated with shock treatment, some never ever to be the same again. Let us remember it was in this environment, in this atmosphere, that Harvey Milk took up the torch of leadership and courage that gave all of us hope. And like so many true heroes and champions in history, he too was assassinated, like Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King. And now, after so many decades, he is finally taking his rightful place in the history alongside of Martin, Robert, and Caesar. And hear me well. Let there be no doubt about it. Harvey Milk is a true American civil rights icon and hero for all people believing in social justice. Not only a hero in our great nation, but a hero that is emerging in a symbol around the world. And we in San Diego have honored his memory the most of any city. In 1979, the first Harvey Milk Student Scholarship was established, and to this date has given over $200,000 to LGBT students. In this great state of California, on this, which would have been his 82nd birthday, we, you, all of us, we stand together proudly and with love and become the first, I repeat, the first city in the nation to dedicate a street in the honor of Harvey Milk. San Diego, you have so much to be proud of. For in truth, Harvey, like all service members, having been stationed in our city, they always leave a piece of their lives with us and become a part of our San Diego family. So in closing, I say yes, in a way, by dedicating this street in his honor, we are saying, welcome back home, Harvey, and job well done.
Hello, San Diego! I think I know that you're more excited about the street than that. Hello, San Diego! This is a great day for our city, and I'm glad that you're here to celebrate it with us. You're going to hear from a few more speakers before we do the unveiling. A number of them are elected and appointed officials. I hope that someone will go through the list, because I think Harvey Milk would be proud to see that it's not just the LGBT elected officials who are here, but we have a whole lot of straight allies who are here, and I want to thank each and every one of you who are here on our behalf today. You're also going to hear from Stuart Milk in a moment, the nephew of Harvey Milk, and I just want to take a point of personal privilege if I can. My parents are here today, and I want to acknowledge them. Phil and Linda Gloria in the back. Mom and Dad, thank you for being here and being supportive. Today, our community is making history by naming the first street in the world for the civil rights hero, LGBT pioneer, and American icon, Harvey Milk. We have a lot of people to thank today. We stand here today thanks to my council colleagues who, under the leadership of Council President Tony Young, just 2 weeks ago unanimously voted to take this historic step. Thank you, Tony, so much. Thank you. And I want you to know every single one of my council colleagues wanted to be here. Every one of them had another commitment, but I appreciate each and every one of their votes. We're here today because we have amazing city employees who in record time processed the permits, prepared the reports, and fabricated the sign that will be unveiled in just a moment. Thank you to our city employees. I appreciate it. We're here today because of a committed citizens committee led by Nicole Murray-Ramirez, who did the legwork, raised the money and built the coalition to make this happen, done in record time at no taxpayer expense. Thank you very much to the committee members. And more than anything, we are here today because of a man who was born 82 years ago today, who defied convention and gave his life to confirm the bedrock American principle that we are all created equal. And you all know this. You know that Harvey famously said, you gotta give them hope. And I think that it's safe to say that all of us have been given hope by Harvey. Harvey Milk opened the door for me and for hundreds of other openly LGBT Americans to serve in public office. But you don't have to be a politician to have been impacted by Harvey Milk. The fact is that millions of Americans are able to live openly, proudly, and with a growing number of rights and responsibilities under the law, thanks to the movement that Harvey helped to propel forward. It's for that reason that we are conferring this honor on Harvey Milk. He is a figure of national significance with a connection to our city because of his military service. I am so proud that this is happening in Council District 3. Where else could we have done it, right? I am thrilled that it's a street in Hillcrest, a historic home to San Diego's LGBT community. I'm thrilled because this is the first step in my vision of creating an LGBT thematic district in Hillcrest, similar to ones established in downtown and mark the historic homes of San Diego's Asian Pacific and Italian communities. Do you like that idea? Yeah! As the LGBT community gains greater acceptance in all corners of this world, it is more important than ever that we preserve our historic neighborhoods where our community was nurtured and was provided the space to build our movement, the movement that Harvey helped make possible. So, to my beloved neighbors, I'm proud to stand with you today to dedicate here at the intersection of Center and Harvey Milk, to dedicate a street in the name of a great American. Harvey's name will forever hang high over this community, continuing to give us hope each and every day. Thank you all so very, very much.
Wow, there's a lot of people here today. Listen, recently, the president of our nation has evolved. He talked about his evolution. And I'm here to let you know that I've evolved too. And my evolution has come about because of my friends that I know on the city council and in this community. People like Todd Gloria, who's a wonderful representative for this district, and Nicole and Robert Gleason, who's my good friend on the airport authority. I mean, I've learned a lot. And I want you all to understand that, you know, my understanding of humanity has gotten better because of my interaction with you. And I want to say thank you for that. And I also want to say I resolve from now on to always stand with you and when it comes to justice and equality. And I will tell you that today. And with that, I'm really proud of the city council. The council has really been supportive of you, of this community, and we're going to continue to do that. I mean, we really did fight to have a unanimous vote for Don't Ask, Don't Tell, to make sure that that was taken off the books, and we didn't support that, and we wanted to make sure that we were strong in support of our president, to make sure that everyone could serve equally in the military. I want to say that I'm very proud of this council for supporting equal benefits and equal rights for all people that work for the city of San Diego. This council did that here in the city of San Diego, and I'm also proud of today, because today we're going to name a street after an incredible person that really reflects the values of this great nation, which is about equality, about perseverance, about believing in yourself and believing in each other. And so with this, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here with you all And when I can't wait to see, I don't know who Mr. Blaine was. Or Mr. I'm sorry for that person. I'm sure they're very nice too. Maybe you can find another street, but the bottom line is this is a great day for Hillcrest, and it's really a great day for San Diego. And God bless you. We're going to have a wonderful time celebrating tonight.
We did start kind of Harvey Milk Day month in Rome with the dedication of the Rome LGBT Center as the Harvey Milk LGBT Center. It's the second LGBT center in Italy named after Harvey, the first being Verona. But I want to talk about last night. Last night I got a communication from Sydney where the bridge, they unfurled a Harvey Milk Day banner on the bridge of Sydney before we went to sleep. And that went on to my friends in Istanbul and Tascam Square, where they brought out portraits of Harvey Milk and held a candlelight vigil to celebrate his birthday. It went on to Rome, and our friends who now are all members of the International Court, thanks to Nicole. By the way, I did try to leave Nicole there with a bust of Harvey as a present, but they thanked us very much, but they said you definitely need Nicole in San Diego. Let me go back to Rome for a second, because everyone's been talking about the importance of what we do here in the United States. It's critically important, and it's seen across the world. One of the things that Nicole got to see is that wherever we went into these ancient cities where mayors were in city halls that have been there for 2,000 years, and they all say that they look to us, and they all hold up our Constitution, because it is the oldest document of a people's constitution in the world. That's a document that my uncle 35 years ago held up and said, you cannot take away anyone's rights. This document says that. And it's amazing that the world recognizes that. And they recognize that we have this tremendous wealth of collaborating and standing by everyone in our community without exception. I firmly believe that our courts will uphold that there should be no popular vote to ever take away a majority's rights. That is anti our Constitution. On Tuesday in Sacramento, Stan Corbin and Senator Leno and Speaker Perez, we actually used the Harvey Milk Day celebration to talk about the need to educate in our schools. And we're hearing that the Senate Bill 48, which requires education at all grade levels in schools, has to wait. And we said, no, it didn't have to wait. Part of our work for 18 months in Italy was to get them to roll out inclusive education in 1,000 Italian public schools. We accomplished that. We gave to the Secretary of Education the document that they're using in Italian public schools and said, if Italy can use it, you can. Here it is. And so I'm proud to say that we're pushing that envelope through the name of my uncle. And then we were with Mayor Villagrosa earlier this weekend, and I can't tell you how heartening it was to see Asian and Latinos, women, children, environmentalists, labor and business leaders all working together for a day of service. What was the common connection? We're all human beings. And Harvey Milk my uncle stood up for all of us. And that day of service was building bridges. We saw it. We saw people connecting for the first time. This is something that, by the way, San Diego leads in, but Los Angeles is building. We went on to West Hollywood, where we gave, through the Hollywood City Council, hundreds of Harvey Milk children's books to 7 grade school principals so that they can start teaching inclusion and about the LGBT community in the schools. We said, you don't have to wait for Sacramento. Here's the books, here's the curriculum, start teaching. Now, I want to tell you, your center director, Delores, said to me, what about the competition between cities on Harvey? And I said, well, there may be some competition, but at the end of the day, on the actual day, there's none. When we were in when we were in Long Beach a few hours ago, Mayor Foster, the first thing he said was that he wanted to thank the example of San Diego, and the example of San Diego in leading not only the nation and the world in establishing a Harvey Milk Street that will be an inspiration to anyone who feels different, anyone who feels left out. And so even though they were dedicating the first park, they gave you guys recognition for the first street. And that's the type of inclusiveness that my uncle's memory stands for. My uncle served here in San Diego when my parents got married, I had the opportunity to talk to him about California, and he talked about the boys in San Diego. But let me tell you that he was very proud of his military service. There are people who will say that he was against the Vietnam War. He was. There are people who will say that he was against some military intervention. He was. But he was terribly impacted by World War II. He graduated from high school in 1948, just a few years after World War II ended, and we in our family lost many people in World War II because communities turned on their minority groups, because people used economic tough times to turn fear and separation and division into laws and took away rights. He saw that, and he knew that a strong military was necessary to stand up to that. And he, by the way, would be very honored to know that there's a movement to name a ship after him. My grandmother and my grandfather both served in the military. My grandmother served in the Yeomans, and believe me, that effort has the full support of the Milk family.
All right.
I have so many friends here in San Diego. When my friend Nicole said that San Diego leads the way, your diversity breakfast, your inclusion, your coming together really is an inspiration. And let me just push it further. It's not just an inspiration in the United States. I talk about it wherever I go. I've talked about it on 6 continents. You should be very, very proud of each of you. You are the monuments, the lasting monuments to Harvey. The streets are great. The schools are wonderful, the buildings are terrific, the Presidential Medal of Freedom is really something, but my uncle took a bullet. My uncle took a bullet through the brain, and he knew he was going to be killed. He didn't know who was going to do it, but he knew he was going to be killed. He took that bullet because he dreamed of this day. He dreamed of each one of you coming together. He saw this day that we were going to come together as a community and say, we're not leaving anyone behind. We are not excluding anyone. We are not qualifying equality. We will be enshrining equality into our very fabric. We're going to be educating our students about equality. We're going to be showing people the Harvey Milk Street. We're going to be teaching about the elected officials that have come after my uncle. This is what he took a bullet for. It is all of you, and I can't tell you the honor and privilege it is to be in San Diego, because this is a community that is truly cohesive and is truly living the legendary message that my uncle gave, which is to keep hope alive. Today, I like to say that today, it's also important to remember that today is never a celebration of the LGBT community alone. It's never a celebration of the minority community alone. It's a celebration of every community. It's not a celebration of one community being better than another or one people being better than another. It's the celebration that we all are less unless, again, we keep the full diversity and the full rainbow of colors that is everybody. We are less, not them, not the individuals who are not being included, but we as a community are less. You guys recognize that. You guys get that. And I know that my uncle would have been so thrilled. Let me just say that a lot of people said he was crazy. He was crazy to run for office when it was, as Nicole said, it was a crime. They said it was crazy to run for office, that it was a crime to have sexual relationships with another man. It was listed as a mental illness. People said, you know, you can admit that you're gay, just don't push it. And I think Harvey wants me to get off. He may not like being called crazy, but you know. Crazy has good company in the world. You guys were crazy thinking that you were going to do a diversity breakfast that was going to be bringing an entire community together. You guys were told that you were crazy, that you were going to quickly get a street named after him, beating any other city. Harvey was told he was crazy. We have good company. We lost someone earlier, late last year, who was also who has a great quote that I love about crazy. And his name was Steve Jobs, and anyone who has an Apple phone knows that this man changed the world. Yes. So this quote really, I love it because it pertains, I think, very well to all of you, and in particular to my uncle. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see life differently. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you cannot do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see courage. Because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the only ones who ever do. Thank you very much.
The great civil rights leaders of our time have been recognized here in America's finest city, and it is a fine day to recognize Harvey Milk. Now, I don't know how I got the job after speaking after the ambassador of gays in the world. And people are probably wondering, what do I know about Harvey Milk? So let me tell you, Harvey Milk and I have more in common than you might imagine. First, today is Harvey Milk's birthday, and so is mine as well. Harvey and Stuart grew up as milk, and I grew up drinking milk. I have run for a lot of offices and lost, and Harvey ran for a lot of offices and lost, and we know he won, but let's skip that part for now. And lastly, someday, if they make a movie of my life, don't you think Sean Penn would be perfect to play me? You know, I love politics. And in 1992, I cast my second vote for president after I voted first for Jesse Jackson, who said something about hope. And then in 1992, I was excited to elect a president, the man from hope. And a few years ago, I think all of us got excited about the president who was about hope and change. But Harvey Milk spoke about hope first. Harvey Milk spoke about hope for the young person in Altoona, Pennsylvania, to right here in San Diego. Harvey Milk knew that hope would overcome hate. And right here in California, where he fought against Anita Bryant and those who would keep LGBT teachers out of our classroom, here in California, we teach LGBT history in our classrooms. Harvey Milk served in the military right here in San Diego as a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy, a military that she could not be out. But San Diego is the home of a congressperson who pushed forward the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. San Diego is the home of the first active duty military contingent. Harvey Milk knew that hope began and San Diego could live that dream. And in the process